What's up, everyone? Welcome to The Flip Side, a Get Your Teach On podcast where we break down, share, and challenge flip perspectives and insights on different hot topics in education. I'm alone right now, but I won't be for long. Bri and Christi, two Tampa coaches, are back on the Flip Side couch, and today's episode is all about Battle of the Minutes. Where should instructional minutes be placed? Where should teachers prioritize their time? And all things in between. This is an episode you will not want to miss, so welcome to The Flip Side. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Flip Side. Bri and Christi are back on the couch. Now, if you saw the last episode with Bri and Christi, the couch was a little full. It was a little crowded. Wade could not get a word in because it was 4 extroverts, Hope, Bri, Christi, and myself. So we made some room on the couch. Hope is sitting this one out, and we are going to be talking about all about the Battle of the Minutes today. I'm loving the Cosmo Wanda vibes from the two of them. If you're listening, it's like Fairly Odd Pairing. Yeah, exactly. Fairly Odd Coaches. There you go. Cosmo and Wanda are in the house. I love it. They got the vibe. But for people who don't know you or they maybe missed the last episode, go ahead and introduce yourselves really quick. Tell them about yourselves and what you guys do.
I'm Bri. I am now an AP in Tampa, Florida. I've been in education for 7 years. I taught 5th grade for 4 years and coached with this lovely lady for 2 years and then stepped into the admin role. And I'm Christi Tavares. I am an instructional coach, and we've been working together, and we make magic happen.
Yes. And on Instagram, they are 2 Tampa coaches, originally 2 Tampa teachers.
Yeah.
Then you moved it. So 2 Tampa coaches.
Yes.
Really 1 Tampa coach and 1 Tampa AP, but that doesn't sound as good, so I get it. Yeah, it works for now. Just keep it. But we're gonna kick things off before we dive into Battle of the Minutes. And Wade's a fighter, so I don't know. It might get tough. We'll see.
A little spicy.
Jiu-jitsu.
A little spicy.
Yeah.
We get all the spicy topics.
Yeah, you do get all the spicy topics. But we're gonna do a best friend challenge. Okay. So you have Wade and I, and we have you two. So I'm gonna ask you a question on different things. So Christi, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
How did you and Bri meet?
Okay, we met at school first, but we really had our most genuine connection and got to know each other in a social gathering. I think that's the right answer. It is.
A social gathering, meaning like happy hour?
Like
or what is it?
club? Yeah, we call that book club.
Club in quotes. Okay, got it. Got it. Wade, this is for you, about me. What was your first impression of me?
Oh, you are very polite and nice.
Oh, that's
kind, and yeah, and
wow,
very
wow, that is so nice.
Yeah, it was in my classroom.
Yeah, it was. Okay, Bri, what is your favorite memory of you and Christi's together?
Oh my gosh, that is so nice. I know.
They look like they're gonna cry.
Different places that I will probably cry. My favorite memory was when I got to know the gender of her baby and planned her gender reveal. That was actually a really good memory. Yeah,
I love
my
that.
favorite. That was a nice. Okay, now you give me your phone so I can ask you one.
Yeah. Oh, good idea. Okay. Okay.
You just asked yourself.
Number 5. We're on number 5.
Okay, number 5. What's Wade's middle name?
Wade. That is true.
Wait,
Fun
what?
fact.
For real?
We revealed it.
Fun fact.
There we go. Fun fact. Wade is actually the middle name. Yeah,
Like
it's Wade.
government.
No.
Government issue. I don't think that's how.
Michael Wade
Michael Wade Game.
and Maverick Wade.
Yeah, and Maverick Wade. Yep.
MWK.
Wow.
All right.
MW.
Okay, Wade, this one is for you. This one's for you.
For me?
Yeah, about me. What's my shoe size?
Oh gosh, a 9.
We wear the same shoes. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Thanks.
Okay.
Christi, what are 3 items that Bri always has with her?
Oh my gosh, her chapstick, her phone. Okay, I can definitely say her phone because that's every person. Her third one, let me think. Her walkie.
Yeah.
She always has her walkie, right?
AP
props.
admin problems. All right, Wade, last one. If I was ordering a pizza, which toppings would I order?
Oh gosh, what toppings? So
You have ordered a pizza.
I know. So cheese,
Yep.
sauce.
Yeah.
You don't really like.
There you go. Stop there. That was right. That was literally it. I would probably get a cheese pizza. that stops
Okay,
it.
but if you're on Long Island, it would be a
was
lot
trick
different.
question. Yeah, there we go. Exactly. If you're at home, maybe we change it. But there we go. All right, we're gonna dive into the battle of the minutes now. Now, this is all about teachers always say, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time in the day. There's not enough hours to do this, not enough hours to do that. But really, if we strategize and create an intentionality about how we're planning our time, we can maximize those minutes. So I want to turn things over to the ladies first. What do you feel about scheduling teachers, how that works? I know some schools have set schedules. I'm doing reading at this time, math at this time. How do we feel like teachers can maximize their instructional minutes day to day?
Yeah, it's a good question. We have set schedules for our teachers at our school, but I think it really comes down to how a teacher uses their planning period.
Oh,
I know that is like the holy grail, and they can be taken in a heartbeat, or, they're taken by coverage, or they're taken by a PLC meeting being scheduled. But when they are given that day to use as they wish, how they use that time, I think changes everything.
what are some ways that you think they can effectively kind of use that time? Because
Yeah.
I'm guilty of this as well. I'm like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then as soon as that time comes, I'm like, who can I talk to? What snacks can I grab? Like all the things.
I was that person that had to put the sign on my door, don't come and talk to me because I will talk to you the entire time. But I think it really comes down to your planning, whether it's looking at data and I don't want to just say writing your lesson plans, but actually putting thought into your planning and hopefully collaborating with your teachers. Because I think teachers find themselves working way too hard when they're trying to run it as a one-man show. And you can get some of the best ideas from the teacher two doors down or your grade level team if you have the same planning period.
Yeah, Hope always says, do less, but do it better.
Yep.
So how can we really take what we have and just be intentional about it to kind of make those next steps? Okay, so we talked about planning. We want to maximize our time, effectively using your plan time, whether it's before school, after school. Maybe some teachers don't even have their plan time, but whenever you are sitting down to do that, using it kind of minute to minute. Now, Wade, you've talked about this often of your planning, and I'm thinking back in the day, you would have to literally close your door to get that done. Talk a little bit about that and kind of why you chose that kind of method and the benefit of that for just your minutes as a teacher.
She's turning.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm telling you.
Active listeners on the balance.
Well, let me ask this question first. When you were in the classroom, what time of day did you prefer your planning?
Oh, that is a good one. I've had everything from first thing in the morning to last special at the end of the day and planning. I love last at the end of the day.
Okay.
Only because as soon as you drop them off, you're like, woo, and then you can actually make good use of that time. Now, there's days where you're like, I'm just too exhausted to do it. But I feel like if it's in the middle of the day or the beginning of the day, I wasn't as productive. I was always thinking about, okay, what's coming next now? I couldn't actually long term do what I wanted to do. So I prefer the end of the day for my planning.
Yeah. When I was a fourth grade teacher, I had the first planning. So I allowed my students to come in the classroom. We did a quick morning meeting. Shout out to Montana. And then I would walk into specials. And then I'd have that 45 minutes to, number one, make my hot coffee so I can drink my hot coffee. And then number two, I would get to my to-do list and I would prioritize what I need to get done. And then the last 10 minutes or so of my planning would be checking in on my team. I was team lead and I would go in and make sure that everyone was good and what they needed for the week or for that day, whatever that looked like. I would say I wanted mine in the morning. I never had mine in the afternoon, but I knew when I went in the morning, I had the second one following her fourth grade one. True. And I knew I had to get through a couple little things to where nothing ever goes right for any teacher first thing in the morning. So I had to essentially fake it till I made it that first hour, and then I could collect myself for 45 minutes and get prepared for the rest of my day.
Yeah. The reason why I asked that question is because I think we utilize planning very differently, but it was all very effective.
Yeah.
Depending on what time of day it is. And so, when I taught, I was that teacher who would lock my door if I needed planning, and I would shut my lights off and I would get stuff done. Most of the time, my planning, if I had it at the end of the day, I was kind of like you, Chris, to where I wasn't as effective because, we're done. And you're so exhausted. But morning time, second, whatever it is, oh my goodness, you can reflect, you can build. Most of the time, it was when if I did have it in the morning, I was able to get my materials prepped. It was just a great prep time. And I knew the kids are coming right back to me instead of, I'm going to plan for tomorrow. Right. I'm not a very good, I'm going to plan and put materials out for tomorrow. I'll plan. But getting organized and all that stuff, I'm better in the moment. But yeah, I think just utilizing it the best way you can. And if you have a planning period, realize how lucky you are, because a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
The copier isn't jammed first thing in the morning.
That
It's
part.
always a good time to visit
That
the
is true.
copier. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about planning. Now, all of you in a different way kind of brought up the beginning of the day. I think that's a missed opportunity for maximizing your instructional minutes. As we work with schools throughout different states and we're doing model lessons and we're on site, probably the biggest trend that I see is the bookends of the day are just what, quite frankly,
Time wasted.
Literally wasted time on the bookends. So the morning, so much time that could be used effectively. And then usually like the last hour or so, it's like a countdown to the bell instead of like, we still have an hour, we could really get there. But then I always hear teachers say, well, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have time to do that.
But you do.
You do. You really do.
You have time for what you make it.
Solid hours. Say that again?
You have time for what you make it to be.
And I 100% agree with that. And I think it's hard because you learn from teachers around you.
Yeah.
So if you see this is what's happening and it's a slow start in the morning, we're getting going, you're doing your morning work, that turns into 15, that turns into 20. Now we're going to go over it. That is not effectively going to move kids.
When a bell ringer takes 20 minutes.
Right. And you're going to lose them.
Yep.
You're going to lose them. It's much easier to engage kids right off the bat than if you've lost them. And quite frankly, if you've lost them in the beginning of the day, you are not going to get them back at any time. So
You'll be lucky to get through lunch.
That's the most important time. So Wade, what tips would you have for really starting your day off kind of with intentionality from the second kids walk in? What are some easy things that teachers can do to ensure that this is an effective use of my time and it's setting me up for success with my day?
Yeah, I mean, just simple things, just basic, be on your feet when the kids walk in the room, keep the lights on as they come into the room. You don't have to have music playing as they enter the room, but if you do, make sure it's something that's appropriate. If you know your students are very anxious, it doesn't have to be super maverick listening to, what does he listen to? EDM stuff now? That's what he does?
Hard drive.
Doesn't have to do
I'm
that.
here for it.
That is Maverick King.
To the T.
100%. He's like, Uncle Chris, can you get this song on my iPad? I'm like, yeah, what's it called? He tells me the name.
Me.
It was like, it's like, I'm like, is this it? He's like, yeah, that's it. I was
He
like,
wants to go to
okay,
EDC or
I'll add it. Yeah, like literally, yeah, he's going to be at Coachella. Like,
He could be the little mini DJ.
that is him. That is him. He was,
That is him.
there's one. Oh my God, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's an hilarious story. Hope sent a video once. Maverick, he's on the plane, getting ready to take off.
yeah.
Okay. He scurries to, I'm watching this all on video because she knew this was coming. Scurries to find the iPad to play his takeoff song on the plane.
Oh, yeah, before we take
which is a hard EDM banger, for lack of a better word, for takeoff.
Right
Just
when,
for
we
takeoff.
start going, he will go.
Yeah. So that is how music.
And his headphones are on, so
Yes, his headphones are on. Yeah.
his own silent disco.
So it's amazing. Okay, so that's how music is important to the King family.
Yeah.
But what else?
But it's, yes, so an environment, being intentional about that, but also have something for them to get done right off the bat. So that could be academic, it can be a project, but I think we've been in a lot of schools to where, like you said, teachers don't even greet the students, don't say hello to them. They have worksheets waiting for them on their desk, or MacBooks, or not MacBooks, Chromebooks, or whatever they are, and the teacher's sitting behind the desk. And the first words they say to them is 30 minutes after the day has even started. Like, that's not intentionality and purpose.
I think you must have your procedures or routines or something. That has to be something
Yeah,
from
dude,
the get-go, because it can be to the point. Now, there might have been times where I didn't say a lot of words besides a greeting for the first 20 minutes of my day, because my kids knew what they were supposed to do as soon as they came into my room. Sure, I greeted them, but that was giving me the time to where if someone was having a bad day, I had that opportunity to check in on them, but everyone else knew exactly what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and get started.
And I think like during planning times, this is from a coach perspective. If I see you walking down the hallway during your planning time, chit-chatting, visiting your friends' classrooms, I mean, we all do that, and I get that. But there's a lot of data that we can be looking at, or we can be looking at your plans that you have for next week. Do you even have them written yet? Are they the most effective type of plans for your next week based off of the data and formative assessments from this week? If not, what are you doing? Just chit-chatting.
And well, I also think that, and I think it's, like you said, I think it's totally fine if you're like catching up with people down the hall, but then I think those are usually the first people that are like, I don't have enough time to do this. Like, I'm like, man, I literally just saw you eating the muffins for like 10 minutes.
Great, and then you come in and have it, like, you want to come talk to me? That's fine. We can chit-chat all day long, but I'm looking at you right now thinking, We have a
You're
lot of
complaining about time, but we're wasting time now. I think that is the most teacher thing ever. I think we're all guilty of that at some time where we're like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. As we're talking about not having enough time, it's like, okay, you could be doing that now kind of situation.
Yeah.
I love that.
What's up, everyone? It's Chris. Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of this episode of The Flip Side. To continue the conversation, be sure to tune in next week for part 2 of this episode. Until then, we'll catch you on The Flip Side.